First off, you can either use a stove or an electric kettle, fill it full of water, and turn it on. Then you're gonna take some sort of container. I like these jars because they're ½ gallon, so it's really easy to measure the quarts out. And you are going to just use regular white granulated sugar. Like the finer, the better, because it dissolves better. And you are going to fill them a little more than half. So about 2/3, between 2/3 and 1/2. So I'm gonna do that real quick. All right, this kettle is done. Then you're going to take your spoon and just stir until it is all dissolved. And you can see it's already starting to get clear. Alright, I'm going to do the next. Alright, now it's still hot and it's a little bit thicker because of the sugar, as you can see. And if you were to take this out and pour it into the beehive, or the feeders, I mean, you would actually kill your bees. They would drink it and it would be so hot it would scald them. And you can either leave it on the countertop for like 2 hours, put it in the refrigerator, or what I like to do is just add a cup of ice. So I won't. Okay. Now I have my ice. Get rid of the spoon. So since it's thick, it's not going to mix as well as just tea or something. So you're going to want to stir it in and then put the lid on it and put it upside down and shake it a lot. So we'll do that in a minute, but we're going to let it melt down a little bit first. Another thing, be sure you check on what glass jar you're using, because I have cracked a couple doing this, using hot water and then making it cold. So don't use your mom's antique Tang pitcher. I did that once and it was not good. So yeah, cracked it right down the center. Had to throw it away. Anyways, so I'm going to take these out to the feeder, to the beehives, and then I will meet you there. Alright, when you feed them, it's also a good idea to make sure you open the hive and check and kind of see what's going on. So that's another thing I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to wear my suit, and then I'm going to open the hive up. One hive we're kind of having some problems with, so I'm going to see if it's doing okay. Check for mites and bugs and all that kind of stuff. So let's get suited up. Alright, so let's get suited up. Alright, well that was pretty easy. Let's go check the bees. Alright, I'm out at the beehive. These are our bees. We have 3. Those are doing pretty good. And might not even be home. We don't know. One just flew in. So we're going to check them out. Not never, but you want to try not to stand directly in front of the hive like this or whatever, because it makes them angry. You can see they're starting to fly off. But anyways, it makes them angry because it's threatening. It'd be like if you were trying to get out of your bedroom and somebody stood in front of your door that was 1,000,000 times your size. So yeah, let's feed them. Alright, gonna grab the jars. Any bees in there? Nope. Alrighty. Alright, so I'll show you in a second, but basically how these work is these sit inside the doorway like that. And you fill this jar full of sugar water, and it clips in like that. And it's basically like a creep feeder for bees. And you can see those little tiny holes. So basically, since it's thick, it doesn't pour out. It just has like little water droplets, and the bee will come and soak up that water droplet, and it'll basically refill. So I'm going to fill all 3 of them. All right, so I got them all filled, and let's see if you can see that. Those are kind of the water droplets I was telling you about. And they'll drip at first a little bit for the first part. But as you can see, unless you kind of shake it, they're not really going anywhere. So I'm going to put them in. All right, we're going to start at this hive right here. It's pretty busy. It's been doing good. Got my brush and my hive tool. You can see how stuck that is. So I'm going to have to really pry to get it off. Alright, so I'm not going to take any frames out right now, but basically what you want to look is just for activity. Obviously these bees are busy, they're working, so I won't interrupt them too long. But this is a good hive. They're doing good. They've obviously made more bees since we've got them, which is good, and they're bringing in pollen to make nectar, which is good. Which is another reason why you want to feed them, so they don't have to be getting nectar to feed themselves. They can just get nectar and store it for winter, which means you can have more honey in the spring, which is a big part of why we feed them. Alright, well these seem to be doing really good. I'm going to put the lid and then we will check the other hives. Now, if you're into beekeeping, you know this, but I'll go ahead and point it out for those of you who don't. The bees are in the center. They're not on the edges, you know, they're in the center. And that's because bees work from the center out. Whether that be up, down, left, or right. That's just how they work. So, alright, so these are doing good too. And there's not as many bees, but like I said, they work from the middle out. So I'm going to take the other box off and then we'll see. But so far they look good. I don't see any mites. Look good. Alright, so I just took that hive box off. And they're looking good in this one. They're a little bit slower than the other ones. I'm not sure why, but I think everything looks good. You can take the actual frames out. And we can see right here, which is what that hook is for. It's just to pop them up like that. Oh geez, they are really stuck in there. Alright, so this is the hive we've been having trouble with. Just opened the thing and I don't see a single bee. Well, there's one. Okay, so I saw a single bee. I don't see much. A couple ants. Pry up on some things and see if we see anything. We'll see, there's a bee that just crawled out of that. But that might just be a bee that from another hive that's just looking around. Alright, so I opened up the thing and I did see several bees, like maybe 25 or so. But in the actual frames, it doesn't look like there's any brood or honey or anything like that, and I took the middle ones out. So that's usually a sign that your hive is dead or dying, especially if you see a lot of dead bees, which I did not. So, but you know, your other bees could have went somewhere else, or there's a series of problems that you could have had, but for all I know, they could have, you know, came into another hive or something, or whatever. So we're just going to leave it here to let all those other bees escape and get out, and then we'll probably package the hive up and clean all the frames out and everything like that.